trading forex. Would never need no record deal. Making my own investment. Market printing me money. Peace, guys. Welcome back to ZENSFXHUB. And I know it's been a minute since I did a market breakdown video, but you know, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent with posting up content. Alright, so you already know I like to, look at the fundamentals that we're gonna have for the week before I hop on the charts. So we got retail sales coming out for the US tomorrow. We also have ZEW economic sentiment coming out as well on Tuesday that I'm gonna tap into. CPI coming out for Canada, which is gonna be huge. Interest rates coming out for Japan, which is going to be also huge as well. And then we have interest rates coming out for the US, and we have unemployment coming out for Australia. Yes, I added AUD JPY and Chef JPY to my watch list. So now I'm looking at the Australian dollar, and I'm also looking at the Switzerland, looking at the Swiss as well. So you'll see me talk about that. So we got a lot of policy rates, interest rates coming out this week for a lot of my currencies that I trade, and looking forward to seeing what the market is going to have for us. Okay, so not going to dibble and dabble too much about the fundamentals. I might do a separate video on that. So let's just get straight into the charts. Okay. All right. So I currently have a trade open right now on USD CAD. So I decided to organize my watch list from my top weekly setups that I'm going to be looking at for the week that I feel like is going to have like some really good plays. All right, so this week we got USD CAD, USD JPY, AUD JPY, we got silver, and then we also have gold as well. All right, so like I said, I do have a sell on USD CAD right now. I'm in a little bit of profit, nothing too crazy. As you can see, like the trade is still near break even. Okay, so the whole idea behind this trade was, if we go ahead and look at it from a weekly time frame, right? We came and we kind of came up and we retested the old highs, right? Back in COVID level, right? We came up to this level, and then as you can see, we have like a strong rejection to the downside from around that area, right? And then for me on the weekly time frame, we got the strong push to the downside, then we got the push back up into like this purple zone, which was my fib levels that I was looking to enter on. And this looks like a lower high that could be forming before the continuation back down to the downside. Okay, so that was the whole idea that I got looking at it from the weekly time frame. Okay, now if we drop down just a little bit more on the daily, you'll see a little bit more better price action, right? So again, we got the push to the downside, then we got the retest back into this purple zone. Again, this purple zone is a representation of my fib levels that I have marked up, and I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I mean by that, right? So if I go back to the weekly, throw a fib on from this high to this low, as you can see, the 61, the 50, and the 38% fib level is within that purple rectangle that I have marked up there. So for me, I did that because this was just an area I felt like within this zone I could possibly find entries to get in and sell. Okay, so we got multiple rejections. We got multiple rejections off the trend line. So we start the trend line from here. We got multiple rejections off it, bounce, and then went straight down. We got another bounce, went straight down. Multiple bounces, right? So for me, the weekly and the daily is both aligned, in my opinion, to be bearish, right? So I decided to go ahead and pull on this trade. I got in on this trade on Friday before market closed. And I just feel like, we definitely could see a continuation to the downside on this. Now, like I said, we do have some fundamentals coming out, CPI coming out for Canada. So this is going to really give us an idea on whether or not we're going to see future rate cuts, because Canada been doing rate cuts since last year, 2024. So we can go ahead and get, if Canada decides to pause rate cuts, then that will obviously be a positive thing for Canada, which will also help out this idea that I have on selling USD CAD, because if Canada is starting to become a little bit more bearish than the US dollar, If the Canadian dollar is a little bit more bullish than the US dollar, then obviously we will see USD CAD continue to drop lower. And if they do decide to do further rate cuts and continue to have a more bearish tone, then obviously the market will continue will push up and then hit my stop loss, which is fine because like I always say, like your risk management is the most super important thing when it comes to being a trader. All right, so this is what is currently looking like. Again, I like to enter on the 4-hour and on the 2-hour time frame, so it's not really much market structure I could go ahead and talk about on this on the 4-hour or the 2-hour. I just like to strictly stick with the weekly, the daily, and I do look at the 3-month as well. Like we are entering. We're 2 weeks away from entering the second quarter, so I would definitely see how the market reacted. During the first 3 months of the year. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at for USD CAD. Now, when it comes to USD JPY, I am looking for sales on this pair. I know it seemed like a lot going on as far as like marking up my charts, but as you can see, right, we are clearly on the downtrend. Okay, we came and retested old highs, and then we completely rejected off this level, similar to what we did with USD CAD, right? And then what I was waiting for, right? I was waiting for a break of structure and then some type of retest back into this zone right here. So if we go down to it, you can't really see it that much on the weekly time frame. But if we drop down to a daily time frame, you can see, okay, we got the break of structure. Then we came back up into this zone where I wanted to look to sell at. And we rejected off this level multiple times. Again, if we go ahead and throw a fib on this, right? This high to this low, as you can see, we are currently dancing around the area of the fib level, and I could go ahead and do another rectangle, kind of like how I did on CAD, and just do a rectangle from the 61% fib level to the 38% fib level, and we're gonna change this to purple. Okay, so. And if we go ahead and take the fib off, so this within this area, right, within this rectangle, this will be an area where I'll be looking to sell. Okay. Now the reason why I didn't pull on this trade just yet is because I just want to see how we're going to react. Number one, while we're in the zone, and number two, to see if we're going to respect this trend line. Because if we can get like another bounce off this trend line, kind of like how we did, above here multiple times. Like, look at all these bounces off the trend lines, right? It's a nice bounce. So we can get another nice, rejection off this trend line. That would be one confluence for me, right? If we can get a rejection off the top of this rectangle, that would be another confluence for me, because that would be the 61% fib level. And then if we go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame, right? I would like to see some type of rejection, like a not rejection, but some type of break below this level before I would even consider getting in, because I just want to be mindful and I want to be smart placing my trades. I don't want to just have a whole bunch of trades open and running and putting my capital at risk, right? So instead of me pulling, because I can go ahead and just pull on this trade, risk the amount that I normally risk, but I'd rather just play it safe on this trade, and just wait for us to get some type of movement to the downside. Once I see USD JPY, and I have an alert set here at 148.336, once I see my alert get hit and we push down, I'm gonna automatically wake up and just get in for the trade, right? So this is what I'm looking for when it comes to USD JPY. Now again, the market could just continue to make higher lows and push up higher, and if that's the case, then obviously I would change my bias on this, and I will wait for some type of break above this level right here, which was the last lower high we had. This lower high created this lower low. So if we start breaking above this zone right here, then obviously I would change my bias on USD JPY and start looking for buys. But as of right now, sales look very intriguing to me. Okay, the Aussie dollar. Now let's go ahead and look at this from the weekly time frame. So what I wanted to look, what I'm looking for when it comes to the Aussie dollar, right? Again, as you can see, just on the weekly time frame, we are clearly on a downtrend, right? Even if we look at it from a monthly time frame, right, we are on a downtrend. All right, we came, retested old highs and rejected off. So as you can see, like you see a lot of similarities. Like market came back up to retest old highs and then just rejected completely off. Like look at this example right here. Like market came up to retest, to come back to the old highs levels and then just completely dumped from there, right? So this could be something we could possibly see moving forward in real time. So even looking at this from a monthly time frame, you can clearly see that we are on a downtrend, right? We were on an uptrend, right? So as you can see, higher, we got had this low, higher low. You know what I'm saying? We're clearly in the uptrend, right? But the fact that the market came down and actually broke below this last higher low that we have right here, and just kept on rejecting and wicking off around this level. Just clear to me, it shows that okay, like yeah, we are possibly reversing, and then when you go down to the lower time frames, you can see that we are on a downtrend. So one thing I'll be looking for with AJ is a push back up into this zone, because if we can get a push back up into the zone, then sales will be on will be definitely, I'll be looking for sales. So I look for something like this. Stop loss will be somewhere above there, and then just swing it all the way down to this level right here. Now this is a 2-to-1, so it's not really what I would go for as far as like a 3-to-1. Maybe if I go down to a lower time frame, I can put my stop loss at a better level so that it can be a 3-to-1, because I don't like to do anything below I don't like to risk anything. I like my risk to reward to be 3-to-1. Okay, so if we can go ahead and push back up into this zone right here, and then I could possibly get it sell, maybe have a shorter stop loss that are pulling all the way up here, just maybe bring it down a little bit more, and then just possibly swing this to 88 from this 99 level. But again, I'm just sitting on my hands right now and just kind of want to see what the market wants to do, not in no rush to get in for this trade. Now silver is my favorite one of my favorite pairs to trade, honestly. So as you can see, it got the rectangle. Again, the rectangle is a representation of a level of zones where I could possibly enter, right? So last week I had a pretty great week trading silver. Had 2 trades. I had bought right here, and then I bought again right here, and then my take profit was around this level right there, right? Because this is where we were in the past. We are revisiting old highs back since 2024. So what I would like to see, right? Not saying that we might not get it, but what I would like to see is I would like to see the market come back down within this zone to possibly give me another opportunity to get in for a buy, and then continue to buy up to 34, possibly even reaching 36 level, right? So right now I'm just waiting for some type of pullback. If we don't get the pullback and it just continue to push up, then maybe if we can get like a nice strong close above this 34 level, and then maybe like a retest back down to this level, and then a continuation to the upside, that would be a possible play for me. So those are the 2 things that I'm looking at for silver, is a push to here, then up, or a break above, and then a retest back to this level, and then a continuation to the upside. But idealistically, I would like for it to push back down into this zone. Kind of similar with gold. Now with gold, it's kind of hard to detect because gold has been just making new highs and just been on a massive uptrend. And one thing I could say about gold is that sometimes it's hard to predict how much of a pullback you're going to get, right? Because as you can see, like even right here in this example, we got the push to the upside, small pullback, push, small pullback, push, small pullback, push, small pullback, push, small, push, small. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really, you don't always get like the massive pullbacks. Kind of like, okay, we made new highs here, and then look at this massive drop. Like this right here was, if we go ahead and just get a percentage, like this was a 9% pullback, right? Compared to something like this, right? Compared to like a pullback like this. Like look at this. This is only a 2% pullback, right? So I would like to see if we can get like a nice pullback, if it's possible. If gold wants to behave and be nice, because we just made new highs. Gold touched $3,000 an ounce, right? So we can get a pullback to this level and then a continuation. That would be fucking awesome. But if we don't, I'm just gonna have to like play it by ear, honestly, like kind of how I've been doing, and just kind of getting in where I could fit in, right? Because the market could just continue to move sideways and then continue to push up. So I would just have to watch gold and see what it wants to do. But if we can come down to like retest 2950 level around this area, then this would be nice for me to go ahead and to pull on. Okay. So that's what I'll be looking at. Now when it comes to my other peers, right? So something else that I'm really interested in trading, being that we have some fundamentals coming out, is Chef JPY. Now, if we go ahead, right, and we look, we have the interest rate decision coming out for Japan on Tuesday, right, Tuesday night. And if we decide to if they don't do no change in interest rates, then we could possibly see like, the yen just move sideways, or we might not get like a big move at all. But if they decide to say, hey, you know what, we're gonna actually do another rate hike, because Japan has been doing rate hikes since 2024. I think the first rate hike they did was back in the first quarter of 2024, right? So, and if we open it up, you can actually see like, we went from being in a negative interest rates to 0.10% to 0.25, and now we're sitting at 0.50. So if we don't get no change in interest rates, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, Japan wants to get some skin in the game. Japan doesn't want to be on the sidelines anymore. And with a lot of uncertainty going on with, Donald Trump being in office now, and like with the US dollar, like even if we take a look at the DXY, no, I'm kind of all over the place real quick, but just want to show you, right? The DXY has been on a massive drop since the beginning of the year, honestly. So you can see, right, the obviously the US dollar is the world reserve currency, right? So a lot of people pay attention to what's going on with the US, okay? So whenever there's uncertainty going on in the world with the US dollar, and now again with Trump being in office, a lot of people like to dump their money into things like Bitcoin. A lot of people like to dump their money into things like gold and silver. And they like to buy certain currencies that are considered safe havens, like Japan, the yen, or the Swiss, right? Those two currencies are considered safe haven currencies where they like to put their money in when there's a lot of uncertainty. So if things continue to, like, with the whole trade wars going on and tariffs and just a lot of things going on economically and fundamentally, if Japan decides to go ahead and do another rate hike, then I will be, super happy, because I feel like all my yen pairs will shoot down. So that actually helps out my story for, sales on USD JPY, or sales on AUD JPY, or sales on CAD JPY, or sales on Chef JPY, right? But again, if we don't get no change and it just stays at 0.50%, again, this is not necessarily a bad thing. They could just be kind of cooling, just kind of like being counterproductive, right? And the reason why I say that is because if we go ahead and take a look, right? Let's go look at Japan real quick, right? If we go look at Japan, right, you see inflation went from 3.6% to 4%. So that was a 0.4% jump, right? So inflation is actually rising. Again, if you're new to this channel, a good inflation number is around 2%. So the fact that we're sitting at 4%, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Japan has been stagnated for the last like 12, 13, 14 years, right? So it wasn't until 2024 where Japan kind of woke up the sleeping giant of their country, right? So with inflation actually, going up for a country like Japan, it's actually a good sign. It's showing that, things are starting to move within their economy, and this is what they want, right? They don't want to be on the sidelines no more, right? They, like I said before, they want to get some skin in the game. So this is exactly why, they decided to start doing interest rate. They started to do rate hikes and increasing their interest rates, and inflation actually going up is just showing that momentum is actually being poured into Japan, right? Even if we look at the GDP rate, GDP has gone up 0.2%, right? Month over, not month over month, quarterly, right? But look at it on from an annual standpoint, it's actually up 0.6%. So this is a great thing, right? Unemployment is up 0.1%. So, but that's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. Some countries have a really high unemployment rate right now. So Japan is actually, looking to further increase their interest rates, and they're looking to increase inflation as well. And I think that they don't want to do it at a fast rate to the point where they go into stagflation or they hurt the economy way too fast, because the whole point of them doing interest rates and getting inflation back up above a 2% level is so that they can start having momentum within their economy and actually increasing the value of the yen. So they're trying to play it safe, and they don't want to do it too fast, and they don't want to do it too quick, but they also don't want to do it too slow, right? So I was reading an article a while back, and it was saying that 2025, 2026, and possibly even 2027, we could see Japan continue to increase the interest rates. So if that's the case, when you compare that to other countries who has been doing rate cuts, like Canada, like Australia, like Europe, like the United States, like Switzerland, when you compare that, that information just alone off interest rates, you can obviously see how the yen could be possibly a little bit more stronger than the other currencies, and you just go ahead and sell, right? So I think that if we don't get an increase in interest rates, that would just be their way of kind of keeping inflation at under control, and not going super high and causing the prices of things to to increase dramatically to the point where it's actually hurting the people within their economy. Okay, so I know I was like a little bit all over the place just now, but I trust that you guys are following me. So again, just to kind of sum it up, I'm in a sell on USD CAD. I'm looking for sells on USD JPY unless the market shows me something different. I'm looking for sells on AUD JPY. I'm looking for a pullback on silver to enter for buys, and I'm looking for a pullback on gold to enter for buys as well. And again, I might add CAD JPY, and I might add Swiss, the Chef JPY, to my top weekly setups due to the fact that we do have some fundamentals that I feel like can definitely move the market this week. So this week is going to be a very important week. We are entering, again, we are entering the end of the first quarter. So it's going to be exciting to see where we're going to be trading and going into the second quarter. Okay, so I trust that you guys found some value in this video, and if you do, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you agree with what I'm saying, or tell me your analysis on how you see the markets, and then we could just kind of converse from there. And again, if you guys want to join my Discord, the link will be below inside this video, or you can also just reach out to me and just send me an email, and I can send you the invite directly to you. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna try to upload a mid-weekly video just to see if I got in any trades, and then I also might start going live or maybe making videos when fundamentals come out, so that we can just kind of converse on here and just again, I'm just trying to be a little bit more consistent this time around. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.